Yes, it is game dev time. That is correct. So here's what we're going to do is I did find a way to do a build last night. So we are going to play that. I'm going to show you the build that we have. Let me see if it still is active here. It is. Okay, so here's our build of what we've done so far. And our little guy can move around. He's going to go to his bedroom. He can walk behind his bed and hide. Oh, grandpa's after me. You know, he can go. He can't fit on the other side of his bed. Okay, we'll fix that later. But there's his bed. He can go into the kitchen. All that. Oh, thank you very much for the bits. I can't see. It's Chryson. Thank you very much. Then he can walk down the stairs, and this is Grandpa's room. And then um, Chryson, 10,000 bits. What? Oh my God. Was that a mistake? Thank you so much. That is awesome. What? Yeah, we've kind of passed our goal of 15,000 bits. Thank you so much, Chryson. Wow. Because you put 100 in. Did you? I hope that's not a mistake. If it is, I don't know if I don't know how to give things back. So here we go. So here we go. We can go outside and we can go to the forest. Here's our forest. We walk around the forest. We try not to run into the trees. Here's our rivers. We haven't put blocks in or collision in the forest yet. But we can go over here and run down the road and go into our city. Here's our city. We can go into all of our buildings. So here we are. Yay, we're in the buildings. Give me some foods. Yep, so we can go in there, come back out. So all of our buildings are working. This is a butcher shop, I believe. Butcher or the baker. We go down here, and I'm trying to find a text layer so I can put names on these things. This is our grocery store, so we can go up and down the aisles in the grocery store. Woohoo! Oh, I keep getting caught on that. When we get in line and then go to the checkout, we want to check out. Then we go down the road here and into. This is our. Okay, I'd like a table for one, please. Okay, have a table. Waitress will come up and say to this guy here, make us some food, make our food, thank you. We'll take this table because it's close to the food. Well, I appreciate it, Chryson. Thank you very much. That is very, very nice of you. Okay, so we're in our thing, we're in the restaurant. We can go out the side door and go right into our boarding house. Now, one of the things that the Savvy Otter did in her mock-up was she put a small cafe inside the boarding house, which I probably should have done as well, but I think it's a good idea. It's not, I don't have it done yet, but you can get the basic premise behind what's going on here. So that could be, well, we do have the small kitchen, so technically it's covered. But yeah, so we got all of our stuff in, this is our outside. And then we can go over here and we can go into the stables. Now I think I need to make the screen just a tad bit bigger so that we can see things around, or I have to figure out how to make a map in the top right corner. So I think I think the map is probably the way to go. But all the doors work, everything works. These are all the things that we've been setting up for days and days and days. We only have one more building in town to build for now, but you guys get the basic idea of what's going on. I did find, and I'll show you when we go back to the actual programming side and the building side. I did find an interesting bug. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna have to put something behind that because I cannot read that purple on there. Let me see if it comes up over here. Is this making everyone else want to screw around? This is my first time in Game Maker. So here's our church that we built yesterday, our temple, with the little side door. So the side door's in. I just put a simple transition in. We can make the transition out of anything. So I'll show you that in a little bit. But and we have to be able to make chairs that face the right way and all that stuff, and aisles so that you can come in and sit down. But well, what I think we'll do is to save memory is probably build it out as big long pews. Um, yeah, I have to learn. I want to look at Godot as well. I haven't seen it. I haven't used it. So right now, I just went for this because this was something that I could get advice on if something went wrong, and it was the first tutorial that I found. So because of software, it's awesome. Yeah, and you can do builds, which it took me a second to figure out how. We haven't built this building yet. It's the only building we haven't built. Okay, so we go in here, and this is the pottery. So we have our big kilns. Now, another thing I noticed is I actually left a building out, and it actually is going to turn into a good thing. And we'll talk about it when we go to the village map. Because when I was watching the Savvy Otters thing, one of the things that she said was that she left a path for the school to be outside the town square. And I think that's actually a really good thing. So what I'm going to do is I think that the school is going to be on the lower part of the map so that it's away from the town. And I think that will work out really, really well. Okay, and then this is our. Oh, I need to name these things. So all of our buildings work. This is our blah blah blah. And what's cool is even like if we walk on the outside, we can't walk into them, which is cool. So the collision is all working. Here's our tailors. Wow, the aspect ratio is a little bit off on that. I think it looks stretched left to right. Yeah, it looks a little bit stretched like left to right, so I have to look at the layout for it. And next building. Yeah, so we're walking around our town now. That's cool. So there you go. And then our blacksmith. And then little stalls for people getting new shoes. Although I haven't put the door on the far side, so we should put the door on the far side. So yeah, so that's our little town in the build where we can walk around and do things. So that was nice because we haven't been able to look at it. Let's see what you guys are saying up here. See if there's anything. 1,000 bits, and you immediately think it's a mistake. Oh, you're in the top 5 for game dev? Am I really? I did not know that. See, I don't look at that stuff, so I don't know. I don't. I'm not sure how the hierarchy of all this stuff works. So it's I'm just here talking and having fun. And I think that some of the things we're doing are exactly that. They're fun, and we're getting a lot of fun out of them. I mean, game Chryson says, haha, it's making everyone else want to screw around with Game Maker. Yes, it is. And that's okay. Not even Game Maker. It doesn't have to be Game Maker. Look at any of the engines. Go out and figure out if that's the engine you want to use or if that's something that can get you where you want to be. You know, we just picked this engine because it was free. You know, it has this engine has cost me nothing so far, so I'm actually quite happy about that. Yeah. start learning it as well, Game Maker, because software itself is awesome. Well, the thing is learn any of them, and here's why: is because, and I say the same thing to 3D artists. Just pick a 3D program and learn it. When you go to other 3D programs, what you're going to find is they all kind of work the same. You just need to figure out what buttons are do the things that you're trying to do, and it's really that simple. Is this looking great? This is looking great. It's fun to see the town coming together. I'm just glad that I was able to actually show it running, because it was getting to me yesterday, and some of you guys noticed, some of you didn't, but I I just feel like we were moving. I was moving very slow on this, but now that I can show my work, so to speak, or show where we are by actually walking around, that means a lot, because it takes the feel of, yes, we've built a bunch of stuff, into a feel of, oh, we've not only built a bunch of stuff, we can show people, we can do cool things with it. While looking at Savvy's building, I could imagine the town square as the center of a booming town with lots of living houses behind it. Yeah, I mean, it's you can do anything around it, which is really, really cool. Lots of living houses behind it and running north and south sides. Yeah. And that's just it, is we look at the progression of creative influence. We took our Miro board, we built this thing. It then inspired other people to do things. It inspired Savvy Otter to go and build her Sims sim, and all that's cool. It's inspiring people to go and build things, go to learn the different programs and stuff. That's awesome. And it gives you a place to come back and talk about it. And we're in ads, so I need to stop talking about important things, because it is taking me off the page, and put the zombie on there. I also like the idea she put of a old shaft in the mine, because I can see some quests. I can see some quests that could use that, where he can sneak into the mine through there or something like that. That would be kind of cool. Raw function. Yeah, the thing I was looking for, and I think I found it this morning, just literally before we came online, so I haven't tested it. The thing that I was looking for, is the ability to put some text on the screen, so that I can we can identify things quickly, and I don't have to go back to the drawing things. I have approval from my employer. I work for Take-Two. Okay. And use Gato and Unreal for my projects. That's cool. I had to declare them when I joined here. Oh, cool. Do you look at YouTube chat as well? I try to. Let me see if it's up. I do try to. I don't always catch it. Okay. Do you read the chat here too? Yes, sometimes. When I gonna lurk. Yes, there's usually about 3 to 4 things on YouTube chat that come up. Gonna lurk here as well. That's Geo, and then Jordan GI Live Stelz says hi. Hi, Jordan. BKR, do you read this chat here? Not as often as I should. How about that? I do need to get the thing that combines them both together. And we are back. So I will do better at reading the YouTube chat. So Caffeinated, I apologize for missing it this morning. I do try to, but I get carried away and forget where I'm at. So ads of run. Is the main character programmed into each scene? Yes, what you do, and we'll in fact, we've already walked through this, so let's jump to game creation stuff. So what you do is, when you build your I'm on the wrong screen. And it's covered up by YouTube now. Hang on a second. Let me get thing. Okay, so when you build your room, it looks like, I think that's what does it. Yeah, in your viewports, you can tell it what object it follows. So if you look down here in the, let me see if it's showing on screen here. Hang on a minute. Do that. So if you look down here, you set what object it follows. So all I do is I put him in a starting point, which is in town or in the grandfather's house. And then every map has him as the object that the camera follows. So, and that's how that's done. So it's you just set it. And even him, he's just right now he's just a dock in his eyeballs. If you look on our gameplay, all that happens is his when he turns his my amazing simplified animation, his eyeballs just turn back and forth. I actually have to click on the game to get my mouse to work with it. Where did it go? Now it's buried. Now it's buried. Where, oh, where did my game go? Did I close it? I don't think I closed it. Okay, there it is. So to give a directional animation, what I did was this, is all I did was move his eyeballs to where he's facing the way that he's going. It's silly, but and also he moves way too fast, but he does bounce up and down too when he runs, but you can't see it because he runs too fast. I think you can see it when we're out here. You can see he's kind of jogging back and forth. Only because it was like, okay, I just need a quick thing to represent the player. So I hope that answers your question. But yeah, you just tell the game, the process that you want it to follow your player, and then when the player comes on the screen, it automatically follows him. So let's go back to game maker, turn that off. Okay. Sorry, clearing my throat. It's God, I'm having a bad throat day. Yeah, so what I was thinking of was this, is if we put a path here and then put the school here, that could actually be very good for us. That way it's away from everything and we can build stuff. So let's think about doing that right now. Let's do that. So if we go and say, let's see, we need an object, which is the hut is what we've been using for the object. We'll put it, oh, sorry, I can't put it in the background. Got to put it in the instance. Granddad's hut is what we've been using for our, okay, why is it not showing up? We are in, not a tile set, it's an instance. Where is that one? Okay, there's that one. So it has put it somewhere. I just don't know where right now. Turn it off and on. Oh, it did not put it on there. What we need is the, oh, I see. I'm trying to put the sprite on there. It's not the sprite. We're supposed to be putting the object on there. So I'm a dumbass. Okay, so we'll put Granddad's hut here. And he's in the instance. And then what we'll do is we'll build our school here. When we build our school out here, that's actually kind of cool. And that's one of the things that Savvy Otter had put on hers. And then what we can do is go back to our backgrounds and go to our tile set. It has tile set. Where is our tile set? Oh, we have to actually click on tile set and grab this. And then what we can do is put, we have 5, 3. Okay. We can put a path to it here. 3 wide, because they're kids. Yeah, and then bring it all the way down to here. And then put a bridge in. And then build our path to the school, which we'll put here. Because we don't have cars in our world, we don't have to worry about the pickup line. So kids just come into school. Okay, there you go. We now have school. Put that on there. Bum, 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 bum. Oops. Sometimes I cannot draw a straight line. Just saying. Not when it's tiny like that. Drawing with a mouse is always fun. It can be quite the pain in the ass, but it is fun. Okay, so we have our shul. Let's go up here. This needs to go on the second rung. Up here, we need to go back to our first set and put these guys down here. There, now we have our door. We also have to, at some point, figure out some things for Windows. Is the main character programmed into each? It is programmed in as a follow. Good look up tutorial like random growing objects. You'll find close to what you need. Okay, cool. I found one, but I don't know if there's another one. Good luck on game dev. Well, thank you. We're just doing it. Let's do Dewaldish. So yeah, so now we have our school out here. I think that it's a good place for it. You know, and I will 100% give the inspiration for putting it out there to Savvy Otter. Clean some, sorry, just cleaning some stuff up. Oops, wrong one. There, and then there. And then we can do things like this, where we can say, okay, we could build a playground. We'll just make it brown for right now, but we could say that this out here is the playground where they can come out and do sports and things like that. And we can think of different things to do that. And we can take a mistake and make it look like we meant to do it. Yeah, just like that, like we just did. So we have a playground coming out of the school. Cool beans. But that's the whole point of having a quick mock-up thing. So now we have we have a school to build, we have a town hall to build, and yeah, that's pretty good. And then we can also build like maybe give them a little dock or something. So if we say, because we're building bridges out of this, we'll say that there's a little dock here going out into the river owned by the school, you know. So sorry, my brain is like, finish it, make it pretty. Sorry, working on it. Oh, there should be green. Green and green. This will be blue. This is why I made this grid of color of, oh, it's behind my head. Let me, this is why I made this grid so that I could do cleanup like this and make it all look cool. So I think that would be best like that, and then we can add this one there. Yeah, that looks good. Come back up here and grab this and bring it up one more, maybe two more, and put these in. No, we need green ones. There. So now we have our bridges. Oh, our bridge is in. There you go. So that's a pretty good jump. That's pretty awesome. Oop. Okay. So we have all of that all working. We have this to build. We have to do our actual buildings. Yeah, and let me see. So let me go back to our Miro board. So what we've done is we've basically taken our school here and moved it. We'll just put it on the side here. Sorry, see, don't do that. This whole thing. We put our school out here, about right there. Oh, we still have to build the train station too. So I think we'll move the train station so it's away from the school. But our school's kind of here. We can take the train station and move it just a little ways down. So it's on the other side. Put on this side. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be this big. I think it's way too big. Let's pull that down. Yeah, something like that. So we have our shul. One shul in library ready to go. Oh, you can't see it. So what I did was basically just pull that down, and we'll move this over a little bit here so it covers the train station as well. I don't think it's going to mess anything up here. No, it doesn't. We can just move our text stuff. This text stuff here. Move it up here so it's out of the way. But yeah, so we've just increased the size of our thing, and then we just need to put the train station in. So that's good. That is good for now. That is good. That's good. Yes, always nice to put a train station right next to children playing with a ball. There are these things called fences. It's, oh geez, okay, here. Just we'll put it way over here. There. Is that better? Is there a way I can send you what I have to look over and play and give pointers? I don't know. Number one, I don't know what you're sending, and I don't know how you're sending it. So there, we moved the train station further down away. So if we look at our map, this is way too much room for children to play in, because there's the mayor of the town doesn't like kids, so he commandeered some of their land for their playground and turned it into the train station. So basically, what you're dealing with is you're dealing with a really mean mayor. You're not dealing with like someone who thinks normally. Okay, we're gonna make it real small. There. Now our train station will be further away from the kiddies. And we will put a fence up around the school. So let's do that. Go to layer 2. We'll put a fence around the school. There's now going to be a fence around the playground. Because we like to keep our children fenced in. Wouldn't that be lovely? If they weren't so rotten, we wouldn't have to fence them in. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so there is our fenced-in school, so that they cannot get out. We can also put an outer fence. No, just undo. There's also an outer fence to protect them from themselves. The fence all the way around the school. And just so you know, I'm doing this because it's funny, not because of anything else. Because little computer children don't go outside where they're told to stay. They're not like real children. Okay, so for now, this is our heart song. Okay. Bloopity bloop bloop bloop. No, I understand you meant your game. I was just saying, I don't know if you're going to do it zipped or if you're going to give me a link to a Google Drive or what. I don't know how you're sending it. Canvas froze. Oh, you know what? I am on the wrong screen. So what I've done is not the right thing. I have lost the game maker. That's the game maker. Here's what I've done is I've made the okay, come on, work. Oh. I've made the playground smaller, and I have put a fence, a mock fence around the school so the children cannot, I repeat, cannot get to the train station without climbing a fence. So now the kitties are protected, and we have our school. But that also means that way over here in this far corner, we do have to build a small train station. Now, being a train station, our town is not very big, so we don't need a big train station here. The big train station is the one for the mine, not the one for the peoples. So we'll just do it like that. That is going to be our train station. We'll just block it in there for right now. So we will see how that turns out. Or we can just move this closer to the other side. We can do that. Move it closer. Maybe somewhere there instead. Yeah, that works. Oh, that's right. We gotta be in tile mode. That's right. You can't just pick it up, can you? Can't. Okay. So we need to fill it in again. This is why we do things. We're on tile set 1, which is good. Is there a way? Let's try that. I use this, I don't think yet, so let's try this. Nope, you gotta do a copy, don't you? All right. Layer 2, do the same copy, which will copy our top parts. You. Yep. Then we go back to that there. There. And zombie mode. Basically, we are in ads. Hello, I am paying attention. Ads will come in 2 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Can you put a demo there? Check YouTube's nothing new gonna lurk. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and clear these out. This is the door. Oh, we missed the door. Okay, we'll fix that. I'm just moving the playground, that's all. That is not what we want. We can do it in a silly way. Okay, now it's farther away from the train station. It doesn't matter. It does. Matters to me. Oh, we're back. Okay. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. That is just put the door in the middle of that section area there. Should be on. Oh, jeez, I'm screwing up. Yep, all that was supposed to be on level layer 1. Okay. See, that's the one thing that though it's cool that they give us the ability to do things in layers like this. There's sometimes when you're like, okay, work, and it doesn't work, and you're like, why ain't it working? I want you to work. Then you realize it's just because you've put it on the wrong layer. And that will be important later because you want to make sure that you're covering it correctly. Okay, so now we can go to the second layer. And we can take all of this off. Insert tool. Don't want that to be on the second layer. Also don't need this on the second layer. What we do need is for this layer here, the first layer here needs to have this for the door. We're gonna have a pretty big door. And the reason we want that on the first layer so that when we lay the door in on the second layer, which we're going to do right now, you can see the indent as a thing to say, hey, there's a door going to be here. Okay, so we got that laid out. Wait till he finishes to make a joke about, do these digital children know how to swim, or do they need lifeguards? They do not need lifeguards. They believe in the old school way of swimming is they take each child out each morning and throw them in the lake and tell them to try to get back. Very rarely do they ever have to go after them again a second time. It's weird. Okay. Oop, 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 oop. You can make all the jokes you want, please. I hope your day is going well, better than mine. I totaled my car last night trying to evade someone else. Physically, I'm okay, but not mentally. Trying to evade someone else. Well, I hope it wasn't a policeman, but I hope the damage to your car wasn't too bad. So, Sarontis, I hope that you're okay. Taking the day off, dealt with insurance, waiting for police report, appraisal, and final judgment. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that sucks. I know Loki had a black ice issue like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and totaled his car. Oh God, glad you're still with us. Yep, absolutely. We need all the peoples we can get. Oh, awesome, awesome peoples. Yeah, peoples. Let's see if that's the fence, and all of that is on this layer, which is good because we want to be able to remove it. And what we can do is we can put later on, we can put a gate right here that so the kids can get in and out of it. I'm not really happy with that. Okay, let's fix that real quick. What I think I need to do for that is this. Let's go with, I'm gonna have to move that in. Yeah, so we can do that. That's a little better. Kind of looks like a rabbit. Looks like a rabbit. Okay, so we got the school. We've already had protests about the school being close to the train station. We've had protests about the kids' ability to swim. We're gonna work our way around that. You know, we're gonna keep moving this forward. Forward. Yeah, usually when car accidents happen, it is quick, and your brain just like way overpowers it. Okay, so what we were going to do originally was build our town hall. So let's do that. Let's go back to rooms. Now I did add a directory. Let me move that up. I did add a directory for the mines because I want to show you guys something that I figured out this morning. It was actually pretty cool. Oh, what time is it? Oh, well, we can just do it now. So if we go to our mines and we say, okay, we want to create a room. We're going to call it, it's not going to be a room. We're going to call it MN for mine. And then just call it level 1 for now. Level 1. So we have mine level 1. So what I found out is this, is if I go to sprites and I create a sprite. Oh, that's a script. I always do that. We want to create a script. We want to create a sprite. Goodbye, script. You'd be surprised how many times I've done that. Because script is here. For some reason, my brain goes there first before sprite. So if we take and we grab, say, our first map. So I wanted to see if this would work. And we say, okay, that first map is going to be our background, right? So we go, okay, images in there, we close that. Now what we can do is we can go to our background and say, for a sprite, and we can grab the sprite for that background, which this is what I was hoping to be able to do, and I didn't know we could. So this is obviously the map is not big enough, so we can go in here and adjust the different stuff here. Let me get the right things. Okay, so we're just going to make it 1366 by 1366. I think that'll show the whole map. Okay, so now what we can do is this, is if we had a tile set, and this was what I was hoping could be done. So we have our tile set. We'll put our tile set in. It doesn't matter what tile set, because right now we don't have a dungeon tile set yet, but we do have a basic tile set. So here's what we can do, is we can go onto this and literally let's do the grid 1616, good. And we can draw over this to make our dungeon. And then remove that afterwards. So we could do a mock-up dungeon in here based on our pre-generated things. So if you're using, and it doesn't have to be perfect to the model, I mean, because we could make adjustments to it and all that anyway. But as a shortcut to building dungeons, this is pretty cool. And I was hoping we could do it this way, and it actually does let us. So we can just do that. And like I said, in fact, I would put it out here, then go to only one, and then back out this, and then I'd come down one more. Okay, so then we go to erase tool, erase those two, erase that one, that one, that one. So that gives us the base layout. And then if we drop the background out, then we will have our mocked up level. So it's kind of like taking the D&D map generator to generate base maps, and then using those maps with our tile set to create rooms. And to me, that was, wow, there's a time saver. And I'm sure that you could probably, I'm told that there is a setting in here somewhere for auto generating some of this stuff. So I don't know how that works yet. So I'll have to look into that. But we can make, like I said, it's a guideline. You don't have to follow it perfect, but you can, it can be a point of, okay, well, we can do this way and it works. 1, 2, 3. We want at least 3 spaces for our guy to walk up and down in. At least that's what I've noticed. I could be wrong. But you get the basic premise behind what I was trying to do here. And I thought that was pretty cool. So let's go, and what we can do is take this and close this. And we'll have to close it up here too. Let me better closing spot. Oops, Z. I'm all over the place. He's out of control. What is he doing? But this also gives you the opportunity to be able to go in and draw your maps on paper and then just come in and do a basic fill of them. So there we have a very basic map for all the things we want to do in game. And we can go back and change the tile sets and all that other stuff later when we build out a coal mine tile set, because we'll have to build out a coal mine tile set. But you can see the possibilities here of getting all your dungeons and stuff built pretty quickly. Getting so you can start testing them and stuff like that before you decide what your tile set's going to be like. And it gives you a lot of options. So that was my theory when I first came up with the idea of using the dungeon generators. But there you go. That's pretty cool. That could be some cool stuff. That could be a very good way of doing things, getting your maps in quickly for purposes of are they fun and stuff like that, and trying them out and all that kind of stuff. But it's really cool because I didn't know this when we built the town, because we could have drawn the whole thing out on graph paper beforehand and then scanned it in and done that. But this I thought was a cool way to do it. And it goes in, if we look back at our original design stuff, sorry, the screen is going wonky. If we look back on our original design page, why did I turn it off? I don't know. Why did he turn it off? Is he really that crazy? Yes, he is. So if we go over here, then these become a little bit more relevant. But as a starting point, it's pretty cool. And they don't have to be this elaborate. Depending on what generator you use, so you're just coming up with ideas, And we'll get hopefully next week. I'll start spending a little more time on tile sets so we can do the insides of the buildings and stuff like that, and start getting them to look good. I think we also have to move. One of the things that the Savvy Otters thing showed me was they may be way too far away. So as we pull them close in, what are the thoughts of using genetic algorithms to increase playability? Genetic algorithms. I don't have a thought on it. I'll have to think about it. I don't have a in the moment thought. I don't know. And I'll have to look at them. I think that there is a thing in my head that comes to mind where I'm thinking, okay, well, is there a need for, I have to lower that so I can actually read the names. Gabby Von Rose, thank you very much for the tier 1, 3-month tier 1. See if I can fix that real quick. I can put it down. Maybe I can put the name down on the black so I can see it, or at least make it closer. Try that. It'll cover the followers, but that's okay. So I don't know. I think that there's a lot of replayability if algorithms are used and stuff like that, but I don't know in the regard to this kind of algorithm. I don't know. So I haven't played with them. You know, I'm still very old school about I put things in certain places for a purpose. And of course it's now underneath and I can't read it. So I need to move it to the front. I don't even know what that one's for. That's in front of stats. Okay. That was a follow apparently, but it doesn't show me follows on the chat. So whoever just followed, thank you very much. So I'm not even thinking about that. Generic algorithms are more for data turning than dynamic. No, then if it's just more about pulling data from the game, then you know what? They are way overused if that's what they are, if it's just pulling data, and it leads to things like, this is so silly. At the end of the year, if a company hasn't made the money that they've said they're going to make, because you have budgets and stuff like that, you have goals to hit and things like that. What I found is, and go and look, and we just had the end of the year, so you may even know some of these, is they'll throw something out there that is real small, that their algorithm has told them will make money for doing basically nothing. In regards to things, it would be like get a special blue cape for $5, or you get a ultraviolet hat or something like that. So you'll see a lot of those at the end of each year, and it's the marketing department trying to make whatever money they are short for that year. It's generally a way to run through multiple configurations and seeing the results to hone them more towards the desired result. Cardinal DeVille, thank you very much for the sub. The Prime sub. Okay, I have to figure out what the difference between regular subs and Prime subs is. I don't know. Oh, hype trains. Hype trains are coming. Choo choo. Okay. How to breed the perfect troll or something. I'll have to look at how to breed a perfect troll and see. I am thinking more of a dungeon generator. Oh, okay. That's an example in the learning. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Ads will be coming in 2 minutes. Yeah. I'm sorry. I took that in a really weird way, and I'll explain why. Is because I've worked for a lot of marketing departments, and their only goal is to make money. It's not about making the game better or anything like that. Their goal is to hit their numbers, and that's all there is to it. Darakon, thank you very much for the subprime. Yeah, they're unfortunately the marketing team, and this is their job. This is in writing their job. Their job is to make as much money off a game as possible, and it's not always a good thing for the player. So I get very testy about protecting the player from those kind of silly things. It's just not. And when people say algorithms to me, most algorithms that I've seen from different companies and stuff like that are only about how can we get the player to spend more, not how do we get the game to be funner so that the player spends more. It's always just how do we get them to spend more. And I'm not that guy, and I never will be. It's just not. It's not something that is going to make me jump for joy and run across the room and make cool stuff. It's just not, and that's just how it is. You know, but using things like map generators and stuff like that to create content I have no problem with, because the player is not being directly affected by the algorithm we're using to make map design. They will be affected by algorithms that are in there watching every single one of their moves and calculating to the highest probability of what they're going to do next. And I don't like that. The 4 normal Subway, you'll get just under $3 usually. The Prime is just a bit under $2.50. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know that. I feel like there's a huge point of making a very good game. Well, that's what we did, and that's what Blizzard was based on. Is we didn't talk in the early years. We didn't talk about all the algorithms and what is everybody doing. We talked about what is a fun game, and then we made it. And guess what? People showed up and played them. So we must have done something right, you know. So yeah, make a good game first. Everything else comes after. And if it's a good game, people are going to tell each other this is a good game. You know, if you look at the first 10, 15 years of Blizzard, we didn't do a whole lot of advertising. What we did was we made really, really good games and people talked about them. And ad. Oh, wait, no, not an ad. It now says the ads start in 3 minutes when it was just saying it's 2 minutes a minute ago. So no worries. Oh, there's still a hype train going. I didn't even know that. I thought it would have died by now. Okay. Do you mind if I give out the name of your YouTube here? Give out the name of a YouTube here. Now you do that on our Discord. In our Discord, we have a directory for called Share a Link, and that is where you would do that. A hot train has reached level 1, 16 seconds to go. 93% of level 1, but we've done good today. We had a huge donor earlier. I was like, wow. Surprised me because it put us over our set goal. Pirateer Frank. Hop train. Oh. So something went wrong with ads. Because it said that ads were coming. That's why I was stopping for a second and answering questions and stuff like that. And then it went back to an ads are coming in 2 minutes, but it already had the little yellow orange thing up there. So let's do this for a couple minutes. We turn our background back on. Like I said, we could draw this completely out and use it. And that's a good thing because it gives us a, for lack of better anything else, it gives us a starting point. We know that this will be stairway, so we can just go ahead and draw this in. But I don't have a stairway going that way. I need to make more art for stairways. But I actually like this. I like that this works this way. I honestly do. Because it can put us way ahead on a lot of things. In fact, we don't even need that wall. We could make a wider stairway. Yeah, that'll be good. We can do the same thing here where the room is bigger. Take all the extra spaces out. Cool. Pull that in. Oh, yeah, okay, we're on the right page. I just looked up and I'm like, am I drawing for nothing? Prime subs are part of Amazon Prime. Oh, okay. Everyone gets one they can use to sub channels with for free. Okay, cool. Hello, Your Joy, and hello, Chad. Hello, Ghost Boy. Okay, do you mind if okay, we saw that one. Put the link in, like I said, put any links you want in the link chat. Pro- Prodigy girl, Prodigy daughter. Thank you very much for the sub. I'm learning. I learning. I may not remember, but I learning. I learn. You learn. We all learn. And we are now in. So yeah. So I don't know. I thought this was a really cool way to do this, and I thought about it for a while, and I'm glad that it actually works the way I expected it to work. So yeah, cool. So what's sad is I'm never going to build that town hall. I'm kidding. I'm going to. The town hall will be built. It's just a matter of when. Um, the concept is still the same. You put together a bunch of tiles, make rules on how they can connect, and then let RNG put together a dungeon for you. Okay, I can look at it. If that's how it works, then that's actually cool. Because if it's just a matter of formatting our input file and then having it read, eventually for games like this, I'd love to be able to do what we did with Diablo, where the you get a seed and all of your dungeons are randomly generated. I always thought that was a very cool technique. See, so you can see where this can be. I don't know, just fun. It's just fun. I like fun. Fun is fun. Oh, I see. Oh, they meant. Yeah, I'll look into it. I don't know how that works with Game Maker Studio. So if they have something like that, then everything I'm doing right now is kind of irrelevant. Um, but uh, it's good to know how to build them anyway, and easy ways to build them. Because if you decide you want to draw out all your own maps and things like that, it's good to know how they work. I'm just a dork, and I like this. I like doing this. Oops. So yeah. So hey, maps. Just got back. What shirt today? Okay, we can do that real quick. Go back and say what shirt it is. This is today's shirt. Some people are such treasures that you just want to bury them. Yes, you could do both. I'll just have to look into it because I don't know this program that well. So we will see. But that is my theory behind making quick maps. Good, bad, or indifferent. It is a theory. I'm glad it worked, but it's all very old school, and I understand that. You people with your fandango things doing them all by themselves. I don't know what to do with that. That is not a big enough opening for our guy. He's fatter than that. He needs a much bigger. Yeah. I think that all of our little hallways should be at least three 16 by 16s. I have an idea for Game Maker support to, by default, no, Game Maker supports it by default. It's more of, it's a technology that integrates. Right now, I have a thing for building trees in game, like Terra. So I want to see if I can leer that technology to build random generated giant trees. Interesting. What are we building? Oh, we were doing a quick test. Is I had a theory that we could use D&D generated levels or for dungeons and things like that, or for mines. So if we look at our Miro board, what we had done is we went and when we were first putting the Miro board together, we were talking about, wow, why is Miro not working? Game capture, because you move things, don't move things. Okay. So when we put our Miro board together, we talked about this, which is if we go to something like the Dungeon app that generates dungeons for D&D games, can we use those to mock up our dungeon in our game as a quick? So we have 16 levels of dungeon that we promised the player. Can we use a D&D map generator to generate those maps and then bring them into Game Maker Studio like we have here? Bring them into Game Maker Studio as a background, which we did here. Well, let me turn off the here's tile set. So we bring it into Game Maker Studio like this, and then draw our maps over them so that we have a basic map for what's going on. Wow. Thor's community broke 100,000K for the charity today. Wow, good for him. That's very cool. So that was my theory. Now today I tested it to see if it could be done, and it can be done. But there's also a point where people are talking online here about whether we can use a dungeon generator within Game Maker Studio itself. But I have to look into it. I haven't seen the name of one yet. If you guys know the name of one, I can do some tests and see if it's something that we could do, which means that dungeon generation is completely free and clear anyway, and we can do some really cool stuff with it just randomly. My assumption is that we'd have to set number of monsters, difficulty of monsters, or people to fight, puzzles, all that kind of stuff. Is that built into this generator, or do we have to do that? Or can we just set percentages for them, and then it can put suggestion points for each of them? That is, I think. Why did I turn my camera off? Okay, I'm back. I did not know I turned my camera off. Sorry about that. Because I'm doing all this stuff. So, so yeah. So if there are tools for generating that, and I just don't know about them, that's great. I was thinking very old school about do we go in and map it out or whatever? I am working on Rogue Light Dungeon Crawler style game at the moment. That's cool. Cool rule. Yeah, I don't know Game Maker at all. So not, was it last weekend or was it the weekend before? It was the weekend before. I did a very small, Nessie, thank you very much for the sub. I did a very small tutorial. It was only four episodes or 4 or 5 episodes. And then just got in here and started building stuff. So I don't know everything about Game Maker Studio yet. So if there is a generator, and if we do know the name of it, I will look it up, and then maybe we'll use it. I'm not against using the tools that exist. I will map it out myself rather than use a generator. Yeah, but we should still look at the technology and see if it's good. But I don't know. I kind of like this. I kind of like being able to just quickly put something in, and then as we play test, we can adjust it and do things like that. My brain cannot let go of the fact that this isn't finished yet. I don't know why, because there's no real. Another thing about Game Maker Studio, and this is something I did not know. If you do not click on it, right? So say I'm clicked on OBS, and I go to Game Maker Studio. If I move my mouse wheel, it'll go up and down. If I press any of the keys, it will go up and down. If I any key, I actually have to click on it in order to get it to do the commands that I'm trying to get it to do. Now that's silly, but it's something that's driving me nuts. So when you see it just jumping like that, it's because it's not happy. Because I'm telling it to do something when it's not ready to do it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so all of these do need to be adjusted. They're not gonna work right out of the box, which is fine. I have a couple nooky places. You can get into spaces of 2, but and you can make this open. Mm-hmm. But it's a cool starting point. Is basically the way I'm looking at it. Yeah. A silly nook. I'm not even sure if those nooks will work, but we'll leave them there for now. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be one to one because it's just the way it is. The way it sets up its stuff is a little brutal sometimes. It might be because I had the wrong settings for the map editor. So if we found a map editor that allows you to set the matrice sizes, which means that if we could set it to 16 by 16, this would probably fit a lot easier. But get the general ideas there. Because we need to make that a little wider so they can get in. Okay. more walls, and then we can walk away from this. So fill. So it's a little bit different on this one. Yeah, so we still have to adapt it, but we go. If we do this one, okay, no. I think our guy is just going to have to go on a diet. But we'll see. I think he can probably fit through most of this. But the curved walls are interesting to say the least. Fine. That's all fine. We should be able to fill now. If it'll do it without breaking anything. Here we go. So we have our base design. All happy. Get out of this. Yeah, so there's our basic floor plan, and we can drop the background out, and we have our basic floor plan. There is an open source game called NetHack, which is a dungeon crawler. Every game is unique and periodically procedurally generated. Yeah, I know that we did it with Diablo 1. And it played, and it did very, very well. Or was it Diablo 2? One of them, it was all generated on the fly. But cool. So we know that works. Things we have accomplished today. Number one, we were able to see our game actually playing, which I thought was awesome. Did I close it? I did not close it. Here it is. It must be covered up by something. No, it's not covered up by anything. It's not showing no mo. It's not showing no mo. I turn it off. Oh, it's capture a specific window. Look at that first, and then come back to. There he is. Okay. I don't know why he was lost in translation, but he was. Let's bigger. And he should still be running. Oh, it helps if I actually click on the game itself. So here we are, boop a doop, into our cities. We're moving all around, go into all the little things. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. I had a problem with this section. Is every time I walked up into there, he would immediately port back and then get caught in a port loop. And I could not figure out why that was happening. It was driving me absolutely insane. And what did it was this: is I made a mistake in the room that, and I'll show you how to show you something to watch out for here. We go back to Game Maker, and we go to that room. Oh, we're looking for, where is it? Okay. So I couldn't figure out why he kept getting thrown out of this room. It was driving me absolutely nuts because I'm like, okay, looking at everything, everything's done, all that. And what it was so stupid. So if we look at our objects, right? We have our here, I'm sorry I can't make it bigger, but we have our object warp block, which is the one that we use to make our doors. That's the one that all the doors are made from. But there's also an object warp, which I have not set any settings on, but I had grabbed it and accidentally made part of the wall from it. So when I made part of the wall from it, apparently what this thing does with if there's no settings on it, it just sends you back to the start point, um, in the top left corner of the start point. So every time I would walk into this room, he'd flutter back and forth between inside and outside, and then port to Grandpa's house in the top left corner. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, are they too? Am I having him reappear too close to the system? I was running down all kinds of things, and then I found, like, looking up here at the list here, there was not just a warp block. There was one of these warps in there, and I'm like, okay, what is that? Where is that taking me? And it was basically that's what was causing all the problems. It's basically because of the way it was set. When I walked in the room, it would automatically port me back to the to our village, but port me onto the block that puts me in this room. So then it'd be an infinite loop. And then at some point, it would just give up and throw me back to the original start point. So be careful with that. You know, maybe name these something that are different than this, because these are very, very close together when you're trying. These are very close together when you're trying to make things happen. So be very careful with it. Because when I was grabbing walls, apparently when I was putting the walls up, I grabbed it by mistake at some point and made a whole wall of them. So it just kind of ported me all over the place. So be careful. Be careful.